Alright guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel. We are doing our transformation series and we've got Michael in the chair. How are you, Michael?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
How was your lockdown, man?
Yeah, it was
intense.
Trying to keep busy. Yeah.
So what are we going to do today? What's the plan?
I was just looking for a really Alex Turner 2013 sort of style hair.
Okay, yeah.
Just nice, low and tight on the back and side.
Yeah. And you want that kind of like that kind of teddy boyish kind of look on the top. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, sort of. So it's nice and low volume almost because my hair's really.
Yeah, it's big. It's super thick as well. Yeah.
Especially at the minute.
Okay. So. Because I know we've done a, have you seen the video we did on the Alex Turner? Yeah. So you're looking for something similar to that kind of really classic kind of like, again, like I said, teddy boyish, or you're looking for something to kind of base that style on, like more so the edges being tight with the longer top, yeah. Okay.
Sort of a modern twist on that almost.
Yeah. Okay, cool, yeah, that's fine, yeah, definitely.
Really nice and tight on the sides and the back. And
cool. Yeah, keep it, so you almost kind of want to keep like the sides coming back, almost, but you want that low taper through the bottom, yeah. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Lengthwise on the top, what are you looking to lose off here?
Definitely lose a fair bit, I'm positive on that, but not to go too crazy.
So say you wouldn't want to go too short, just because you want the balance on the sides as well. You want to try and keep it almost like an overall length in some ways. If you want to sit a bit flatter as well, again, the shorter you go, but it gets a bit thicker towards the root, you know. So you probably want to keep a bit more length in than you imagine, just so you can sit it flat. I mean, you can always blow dry it flat, but the shorter you go, the harder that is to sit flat, basically. So you might want to keep a bit of length in there, but again, we can still lose a lot. Do you blow dry this quite a lot?
Not really.
Not really, no, because it feels very coarse. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it feels quite dry and quite coarse. So I think something like I'm just thinking product choice, just as we are at this point now. I think again, do you want a very slick finish, or do you prefer more of a natural finish?
Yeah, whenever I used to use my products, it used to be like a quite shiny pomade.
Pomade, yeah. How do you find that? Do you like that finish? Do you like that really high shine?
It used to be workable as such.
Yeah, before this.
It used to work really well.
Okay, yeah, sound, yeah, cool. Yeah.
And maybe a straightener sometimes.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. So did you used to straighten it or blow dry quite a lot before you start starting? Too much. Okay.
On, a special occasion.
Special occasion, going out or something like that, yeah. Because I'm just thinking it almost feels mechanically damaged. And what I mean by that is like hairdryer straightener. That's how it feels that way. It does hinder slightly on making sure it sits flat. That's my only worry. But I think we'll be okay. But essentially, the haircut you're looking for, a modern twist, modern take on, well, it is already kind of a modern take, but more of a more modern take on Alex Turner's. It's crazy to say that because it was only 2013.
I know.
It makes you feel so old, man. So I think we maintain that and then just obviously blend it right down as short as you can. How would you feel about like blending the neckline right out, like down to like a 0 or something like that? Yeah, would that be all right? Yeah, just to give that really sharp finish to the edges, yeah. All right, cool. And then the top, we'll just work as we get to it. Is that all right, yeah? Sweet. Awesome. Well, I'm going to give it a shampoo and conditioner. So our idea today is Alex Turner 2013, very low fade down the bottom, loads of length, very classic on top, but we're going to put a bit of a modern twist on it as well. We're not going for that kind of teddy boyish kind of finish. We're going to go for a bit more maybe. So that's maybe a bit more back. I think a bit of movement would be quite nice in there as well. Add a little bit of movement as well if you want to, you know. So if you do want to use a pomade to slick it right back, you can. But then if you want to add maybe a cream or a paste to give a bit of movement, so it still sits flat. It's not like big, so it sits flat. It's workable, yeah. Exactly that. Exactly that, yeah. Because that's what you need. You need it to work every day. I'm going to take a horseshoe. I'm going to work it quite low this time around as well. So I'm not going to do the same as we did on the last Alex Turner haircut. I'm going to work this quite low. So what we did on the last one, if you remember, we worked it really, really super low. It was down to about here. Then we blended everything down, but I'm going to do it a little bit different today. Our classic horseshoe section, okay? And again, the reason why I do this is to find the face shape, where the elements need to stay. But we're not really working to Michael's face shape today. We're working to a complete style. Right, so that is sectioned off at the round of Michael's head. Yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're going to be working through into a very low one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, start with, I'm going to be working palm to palm. Bring this out. And I think that will be enough length at the top to still slick his hair back, okay? And you see the cutting angle as well? I'm working in, so it's going longer to shorter. My knuckles are pressed against Michael's head now as well. And use my guide underneath here. Bring my fingers towards me, there you go, there's a guide on the angle. If I bring that back with a comb and water, that will slick nicely back there as well. Guide underneath there. So you see him by tilting his head over for me, it's really allowing me to create that almost like kind of bellowing effect here, like this. Almost working, my knuckles are flat against Michael's head. So I'm essentially layering longer to shorter to help me when it comes to my clipper work in a minute. A lot of length through there. It's getting shorter as we work down. Bit of water, that's going to sit into a nice DA at the back there as well, if you want to, like that. That's sitting really nice. So we're going to be working down this bit here, so you can see all that length is still working nicely and moving around as well. There we go, now that is sitting back lovely and a lot flatter to the skin as well. I'll put the clipper work in first, and then I'm going to dry it and then blend it, okay? Put 2 in first, and work from this middle bit up to this point here. Now remember, very, very shallow blend for this hairstyle. Almost a white line in there still, and that's what we're looking for, that really, really heavy, heavy blend. So again, I'm not looking to drop this at the back, I want this to stay really level with the sides. Working on 1.5 up into the 2. The 1 up into the 1.5. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the baseline in my 0. I'm going down to that, so we've got a bit more of a harsher blend, more than working down to 0, which would be more kind of a softer blend. I want quite a harsh blend on this, so take the 1 off and put my 0 line in. My minis. Onto the shavers. Work on the 1/2, up into the 1. Just working down through the lever so I get that line out. The 1.5 first. Up into that 2, really scooping out into our 1. Lifting it up and just working the teeth almost flat to me. Shape the edges a little bit as well. Do a modern twist on this haircut. If we shape the edges up a little bit, give a bit more of a modern take. And we're up to that blend again. Now, on to the top. So I'm going to cut this in a very similar way to we did if you watched the Teddy Boy haircut, right? The Arctic Monkeys, Alex Turner first video we did. But again, we're going to take a bit more length off top, but I'm going to essentially do the same kind of cutting down to the blend here, all right? Separate that fringe down in a bit. There we go. I'm going to work horizontal sections all the way down to the blend. Bringing this down to the blend point, which my fingers running in parallel with, and there's my guide. Makes me take a bit of length off, but just building that bit more weight so that starts to fall nicely, and a little bit of help with a bit of product, that'll sit absolutely perfectly back. My guide through there, as you can see. Just making this section right the way down the back like that. You see the guides coming through. By keeping the section smaller, you can really see the guide. After every one, just make sure you bring it back so you know it's going to fall back. There we go. Keep cutting down to your guide. And we're one after the centre, and then we're going to switch over to the side then. By layering all this heavy weight down to the blend will help the side sit flatter as well. So have you had this look before, Mike? Is this like your go-to look, or is this something completely new?
Yeah, it's been trying to get the growth, really.
Oh really? Ah, sweet,
Yeah,
okay.
Where you can cut it down to.
Yeah. And that's the thing I always say to people, like, you know, you've got to grow it past the length you want most of the time to get the look that you want, to be able to layer longer hair in and stuff like that, because there's no point in you getting to like a certain length and going, oh yeah, I'm at that point now where it looks like it.
That's it.
But it might look like it, but as soon as you get any haircuts, it might ping out. So it's always best to cut it right past, or grow it right past the length you want, like you've done, thankfully, through to lockdown. Yeah. And then come in and get it layered in like this and cut in like this. It really, really helps. So if anyone watching this thinking about, like, you know, obviously growing the hair and the tempted to be at a certain length that they like, but they want a certain look that might be maybe, you know, a bit heavy on the top, something like that, just keep growing it. Just keep growing it past the length you need to. And I'm sure your barber will tell you the same thing as well. Through that crown. Last but not least, the fringe. It's the longest point now. As it's in the section. It's not that long now, because everywhere else is balanced, okay? So you want to maintain that length at the front for that to slip back like that as well. All right? I'm just going to work over the hair to layer that in. I'm just working higher up to remove bulk. And then just working over the comb a bit. And just make sure that length is just not as frayed as it is. Okay, so we're still taking some length off, only a bit. What you'll start to see is this point now, where we've over-directed everything over to the side. So you won't see it at the fringe because we separated the fringe out. I'm just picking up sections and you got that point there. So we can take away the point because we're trying to keep the length on the corners here. And that out from the crown as well. I'm just going to point cut into that bit there at the bottom. Back to the razor. And just add a little bit of texture. So again, we don't have that really slick finish. If you fancy breaking it up a little bit, changing the product round, we can. Just gonna work back. Okay, it'll still sit flat. Got a lot of thickness there, a lot of weight in there still. I'm just trying to break it up so we can wear it in multiple ways. Still by obviously using that inspiration when he came in at the kind of 2013 Alex Turner short corner, short sides and back. Look at that, the difference already. It's really broke that curl down. Now imagine if you wanted to wear it just a little bit messy like that, you can do. Yeah. Look how different it is, look how less big it is. Wow. You know what I mean? I know you do, you really do. But again, you know, we don't want to thin out too much. You need, like Michael said, he wants to wear it flatter to the head. He doesn't want it to be as big. So weight, you know, obviously will help with that. So the thickness will help with that. So I work over the top just to take that thickness out through the corner here. So I'm going to use a vent brush. I want this to fall easy through the hair. I'm not going to use a round brush to kind of really blow dry the sides, flatten down. I want this should lie pretty flat anyway, okay? And then bring it back to slick. Wrapping it around the brush. And finish off with some cold air now. So what would you like to do today? What look do you want? Do you want slick? Do you want more casual, low shine, medium shine? What are you thinking?
I'd say medium.
Yeah. Not too crazy. All right, cool. Let's use a paste, okay? So a paste is just, you know, you normally get like a medium shine with a paste, okay? That's what I've got in my hair now. So you can see there's a bit of a medium shine to it, okay? What we want to do now is just pea-size amounts and work it through the hair. Make sure sides are on as well. So one side first, rub your hands into the palm of your hands again, through the sides again to make sure you see the hair coming back. And then I think we have quite loose today more than it being too slick. What do you think? So it looks a little bit like, again, a bit of a modern twist on what we said about the Alex Turner look. So you've got that little bit of movement, a little bit of flow through there. Still nice and swept back through the corners and through the sides. But then maybe let's just play around with this top a little bit. It's not as big, still quite flat, but it's just got a little bit more broken up texture in there now as well. And it fades right down to nothing on the neck. There we go. How's that?
Yeah, great.
Cool, man. I see the back as well. All right. So down to the one sides, fade right down to the neck at the bottom, and you get that look. So again, it is very Alex Turner with a really modern twist on top as well. But you can have the Alex Turner if you want. Just pop pomade in it and comb it all the way back. That's basically what it is. Pull the fringe down a touch as well, you know.
Yeah. That's lovely.
Yeah. Happy?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. So we're in for that kind of inspiration of the short, really close short back and sides, but with the element of the sides being swept back as well. So that was the inspiration that we went from. But obviously, Michael was a bit like, you know, a more of a modern twist on that, which was funny because we laughed at that because modern now, it's only, what is it, 7 years ago or something like that, you know? So it's not that long ago, but it's changed, the hair's changed so much as well if you think about it. So what we did was, I gave him an option that he could still wear it very similar to Alex Turner if he popped a bit of pomade in. That was my thinking process behind it. But I wanted to, again, give a bit more of a modern take on that haircut. Now, the modern at the moment is that swept back, very loose, very messy, bit of wave in there, bit of height in there if you want it. That is the kind of modern take on longer brush back hair now. But with the element of a skin fade on the neck, right down to nothing, and then obviously to the lowest point of a 1 on the sides, and the hair being swept back. So again, slightly modern. I'd say more so now. If you look at the haircuts that are now, you wouldn't tend to take it all the way around the back and side. You tend to do the side bends in the neck, and that's it. You wouldn't tend to go all the way really high at the back. So again, you've got that classic twist, you know, the classic elements of this haircut of the original, but with a bit of my take on it and a bit of a modern take on it as well. And that was it. Happy, yeah?
Very.
Sweet, man. Thank you very much, buddy. It looks great. Really happy with that.
That don't even look like me.
No, not at all. Awesome, man. I'm made up. Cool, man.
Great.
Thank you very much. Brilliant. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for coming along.